Hello, happy Tuesday. I hope that everyone is having a great start to your day. I'm excited to be back with you again today for another episode of Live Talk Tuesday with Dr. Lisa. So, I am going to be talking to you today about what it takes to be a great leader. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Dr. Lisa. I'm a board certified family physician, best-selling author, speaker, and executive leadership coach. And I help physicians transition into leadership roles so that they can become the respected voice in healthcare. Through my coaching programs, workshops, and trainings, I help physicians elevate their voice and become the respected leaders and change makers of healthcare. So, again, today my topic is what does it take to be a great leader? So, in my practice of building healthcare leaders, I'm often asked by my clients, what does a successful leader look like? What does it really take? What qualities do they have? What experiences do they have? What is typically their educational level? What is their ability to influence? How do they show up? What is their presence like? And while there really is no black and white answer for this question, there are many tried and true and tested and researched skills and behaviors that we know actually make a great leader. And we already know that being a great leader is really not about the title, it's really not about the position, it's really not about being placed in a place of authority, but it's really about what you bring to the table. It's about your ability to deliver results, it's about your ability to influence, your ability to build cohesive teams. It's also about your vision and your foresight. It's about your ability to be strategic. It's about also being flexible and being able to adapt. And it's also about having empathy as well. So, while there are many what we might call natural born leaders, those people who typically just have those skills, leadership can also be developed and nurtured as well. So, I recently came across an article in Becker's Healthcare that addressed this topic of the 7 thoughts on great leadership. So, in today's live, I wanted to talk about one of the 7 thoughts, and that is number 6 on their list, because this comes up a lot in my coaching practice. So, I'm going to actually share the link as well to the article so that you can go back and you can read through it. But number 6 is that great leaders are not afraid to make hard personnel decisions, right? Because as a leader, you are responsible for your team. You are responsible for those people who you put in positions to help you to build your vision, to help you to deliver those results, right? To help you to be productive and efficient. So, part of your role as a leader is to sometimes hire those people, to train them, to coach them, but then also sometimes to let them go or to have them to move into different areas where they might be better suited. So, number 6 on the list, again, is that great leaders are not afraid to make hard personnel decisions. And I find that this is a challenge, this is a struggle a lot of times with my clients because they may not have been put in that position before to really make those personnel decisions. So, they're really having to step up and come up with setting some sort of barometer for what it means to really have a great team and to have the right people in the right place at the right time. So the best leaders really understand that not everyone is a fit for every job, right? So I'm going to say that again. Not everyone is a fit for every job. A person who is placed in a position really needs to be assessed on a regular basis, right? To make sure that they are delivering, that they're keeping up with their tasks, that they have the ability to actually fulfill that role. So there needs to be a constant and a regular assessment of that. Because what can happen is over a long period of time, if you're not keeping up and you're not assessing, is that having the wrong person in a job where they cannot perform, where they cannot bring results, is not only bad for the organization, but it's also bad for the individual involved, right? Because it really sets them up for failure. It can lead to a lack of self confidence. It can lead to a lack of self esteem. So we really don't want to halter or hamper a person's ability to maybe do their best in a different light or in a different role. We want to make sure, again, that we have the right person in the right job at the right time. So, what are some of the things that you should really look at or you can do to help you to become a great leader when it comes to assessing your personnel? So, the one thing that I did mention is that we should hire people and place them in positions where they are utilizing their skills and talents and where they can excel, right? So, we want to put people in places and positions where they can excel. And then you want to, again, assess them and coach them on how far we can sometimes maybe even push them a little bit beyond their skill set. So, when you're making hiring decisions and when you're actually assessing your personnel, here are some of the things that you should really do. So, the first is you want to look at your hiring practices, right? When you're hiring, you go through it obviously a screening process, you go through an interview process. So during the interview, are you asking the right questions? Are you asking the right questions on the interview so that you have enough information to really make the best decision for both you and for the person? Are you matching their skills to the job description, right? Or better yet, do you even have a job description? I've seen various times where, roles are sort of just developed on the fly and there's no job description. So it becomes impossible to match a person's skill to the job because you don't have a job description. And if you're building it on the fly like that, then there's this expectation that the person you hire can just kind of mold into that job. And that's really not fair, again, for the person. And then you want to look to see if they have transferable skills, right? Because we know that all the time when we have a job description, not everyone is going to fit 100% of the qualifications that we list. But we want to know sometimes if it's a really good candidate, do they have transferable skills? Like, can their previous experiences or previous educational level, the things that they have done in the past, can those things be transferable? So that's the first thing. The second is when you have a person in a position, are you clear about what you're asking them to do? Are you clear about your task? Are you clear about what their role is? Are you clear about what your expectations are? Are you clear about what success looks like? So this all comes in play when you're doing that assessment, right? So you want to make sure that they're really, really clear about your ask. And then you want to also make sure that you have provided them with the right resources to make them successful, right? So we want to make sure that the people that we have in the positions where we are expecting results from them, that they have the resources that they need to bring forth those results. And then you want to just ask them, do you have what you need? How else can I assist you? How can I help you? What are some of the things that you need in order for you to be successful in your role? And then the last is, are you providing feedback on a regular basis, right? Are you giving the person feedback so that they can make the adjustment? And then are you making adjustments as well as you're providing the feedback? So that becomes really important because it becomes difficult for you to know where to go if you don't really have the roadmap to get there, if someone is not kind of coaching you along the way. So you want to make sure, again, that you're providing feedback. So these are some of the tips that I have, when you're looking at developing your personnel and you're looking at sometimes making, what might be difficult, hard personnel decisions, is to look at those four things to see if, you know, those areas within your company or within your organization may need to be adjusted or tweaked at this time. So again, look at your hiring practice, make sure you're asking the right questions during the interview, making sure that their skills match the job description, making sure that you have a job description, making sure that they have transferable skills. Two, make sure that you are clear about your ask. What are your expectations from them? And be clear about what their role is, what their tasks are, what are they responsible for. The third is to make sure that you have provided them with the resources to be successful and then ask them what they need. And then the fourth is making sure that you're providing feedback so that they can make the adjustments along the way to give you and your organization what you're actually looking for. So at the end of the day, if you've done all of this, and there are obviously other things that you can do as well, these are just kind of just some samples. But if you've done all of this and the performance is still not quite where it should be, or the behavior of the individual is unacceptable, then it's really time to start to look at if this is the right person for this position, or would they be better suited somewhere else. And these are some of the responsibilities and the roles that you'll have to take on as a leader within your organization, is to make these hard, sometimes, difficult personnel decisions. So I hope that this information was helpful. I hope that it gives you some insight into, as you are looking to become a leader within your organization, or if you're already in a leadership role and you're having to deal with these personnel issues that you may not have had to deal with before. I hope that these are some tips that you can at least help, and to help you to start to develop some sort of framework around how you deal with personnel decisions. So I want to thank you again for joining me for another episode of Live Talk Tuesday. My name again is Dr. Lisa, board certified family physician, best-selling author, speaker, and executive leadership coach. And I help physicians transition into leadership roles so that they can be the respective voices in healthcare. And developing your team and having the right team and being able to deal with these difficult, sometimes personnel decisions, is one of the skills that you really need in order to become an effective leader. So, if you are a physician looking to transition into leadership, which is where we are so needed at this time, or if you are already in a leadership role and you're looking to uplevel your leadership skills, you need some help around developing your team and making hard personnel decisions, then I invite you to reach out to me and schedule a strategy session, and we can talk about some of the challenges that you may be facing at this time. So you can schedule that strategy session at schedulewithdrlisa.com. That's schedule with DRLISA, drlisa.com. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. I look forward to also bringing you another live Talk Tuesday with Dr. Lisa. Have a great rest of your day.